Folks, here we go again. Gonna be a pretty day, I think. So here we are back to the pickup truck. I'm sure getting tired of it. Need to get this thing back together so we can do something more fun than this. But somebody said I would have been better off just replacing the one I had, or fixing the one I had. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. I have not been able to get the pinion gear out without taking out these bolts. There's bearings underneath both of those. I've probably got chipped teeth. The bearing itself and then the gear, I mean, it would have added up to quite a little bit of money. Also, this whole new junkyard axle, I was hoping would be a little more complete than this, but it is what it is. But that cost me $300, and the parts to do this, to replace what I broke, would have been at least that, probably more. So anyway, I don't know if it would have been easier to try to fix what I had or replace it. I was hoping I could just swap these out. Anyway, I'm too far along now to worry about that. I'm kind of stuck. I mean, that ain't going to drive very well without a rear end. The other problem with this, too, is that you have to adjust the gear gap. They call it a backlash. When you speed up and you slow down, there has to be enough gap in here for oil to get in. You don't want too much or they bang back and forth too much. And I don't have the tools to do that. And that's something I've never done. I don't know exactly how. I could probably figure it out, but I've never done it. So that kind of worries me. My neighbor down here, you need what they call a dial indicator, and he told me he does have one I could have borrowed. But like I say, I'd hope this would be a quick, easy, just swap them and go. I'd hope that both brake drums are on there and the brakes were halfway decent, but it didn't work out that way. So, like Willie Nelson says,
nothing I can do about it now.
Anyhow, today's plan is to replace my brake shoes. The emergency cable on this one is broken off. That one is probably ready to break off, so I got those to replace. Put my drums back on, put the axles back in, and get this thing ready to be put back in. Hopefully, I can get that done, as well as put it back in, at least in place. Whether or not I get it bolted in or not, I don't know if I'll get that far, but I gotta run Cindy into town here in a minute and do some things, so I don't know. But anyhow, I try not to bore you too badly with this. I know these these videos aren't really very interesting or fun to watch, but by golly, I'm trying to keep Hillbilly's challenge of one a day, and so far, keep my fingers crossed here. So far, I've managed to do it all but one day. The one day I did have a little short on there, so I can kind of say I've done it. Anyhow, not getting anything done, so see you in a bit. Well, once again, it's almost dark. There's a storm rolling in, you can probably hear. It's snowing over there on the mountains. Didn't get as far as I'd hoped. Seems like I never do. But part of it was that the brake drums I bought, or not brake drums, the brake shoes I bought, the pads, were not the right ones. So I'd take those back into town and swap them out for some different ones. And I ordered some new shock absorbers. They didn't have any there, which kind of surprised me. I thought for sure that was a common enough part they'd have them. But anyway, so I got new brakes, new shocks coming. I put the brakes in, and that was kind of a fight. I found out that if I should have probably showed it before I put them together. Well, I guess I got this one. I can show you. The pads here, oops. The pads here are on the outside edge, right here and right there. The doggone thing wanted to keep falling apart. Every time I'd go to put on one of those springs, I'd pull the other side loose. Finally ended up putting a ratchet strap around it to hold everything kind of together, and that helped a lot. Don't know why I didn't think of that on the first one, because the second one took me almost no time at all. And then this little thingy, that is the sensor for the anti-lock brakes. And it was broken off on this junkyard one. I kind of pushed down inside. That took a little bit of doing to fight and get that out of there, but got it. This is the one out of the other axle. Emergency brake lines, they put new ones of those on there. So basically this thing is just about ready to put back in the truck. I gotta get these bolts out. They're stuck in there pretty good. I'll grind them off and cut them out of there. Those are for the shock absorbers. And I washed the inside out, a little bit of brake fluid and whatnot to get some of the sludge out and make it clean. I gotta get some 90 weight or look and see what they recommend for gear oil. It used to be 80, 90 weight motor oil in gear grease oil, but I don't know. Over the years, they've said other things too, and I don't know. I got to look and see. Dave Morelli was telling me on his, he needed some sort of, what was it called? Limited slip gear oil. I don't know what the difference is, but he said it was not the same thing. So I got to look into that and see what I actually have to get for it. But anyhow, this is winding down. I bet you're glad. Yeah, I'm sure you're sick of watching truck fixing videos. I know I'm sick of doing them. So anyway, kind of a short one today, but that's all I got. Like I said, this just really kind of wasn't in the mood to try to film this. It's harder to put together and do everything when you're stopping and messing with the camera. I don't want to get the camera greasy, so I got to clean my hands and all that stuff. So anyhow, see you folks tomorrow. I hope I don't wake up to snow. It sure sounds like I might. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds worse inside the tin building though. I bet you can hear that wind. Hillbilly, he's getting some snow on his place. I don't know how much. I haven't wrote to him here a little while ago, but sent me a picture. He said it was starting to collect. I hope it didn't stay. Anyway, see ya, folks. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you can hear that. The way the wind's blowing, we might wake up to snow tomorrow. Glad we got this shop. See ya.